Welcome back, everybody. I honestly am still coming down from the absolute insanity of the last series. In case you somehow missed it, I feel bad for you. It was an absolute banger. Vipers barely came out on top of Game 7 against Faded. Spectacular series, but we've got to move past that now. Still a lot of playoff matches to be played, and we've got even some more excellent ones coming your way. I'm joined here in the booth by my homie and the man, the myth, the legend himself, C Money. What's going on, C Money?
Oh, just watching the place I wish I could be in, but it's okay. I'm excited to watch it. Well, I don't wish I was a novice, but I'm just playing. Uh, we're about to get some exciting matchups. I'm doing great, and I'm hoping you're doing just as well. It sounds like it, so I'm excited to get this one going for sure.
Oh yeah, I could not be more hyped for these playoff matches, especially seeing how good the first one boded for the rest of them. Unfortunate, your team could not make playoffs. C Money still MVP in our hearts. We all know it. Definitely deserve that spot, and I wish all teams could go the playoffs, but unfortunately, only six will make it. I believe we do have the playoff bracket up on screen right now for the Novice League. And as you can see, we're starting off with the lower round one, the matchup we're about to get underway with Wisps versus Genesis. You can see the upper quarterfinals there. Whoever wins this matchup, Wisps versus Genesis, will move on to the lower quarterfinal and will play the loser of the uppers. Definitely can see how the cards have all fallen on the table. The top seeded teams have a slightly easier bracket run. But taking us into this lower round one, Wisps versus Genesis, actually a rematch of a very close series. Last time, Genesis got reverse swept after being 4 seconds away from victory in a sweep over the Wisps. That was definitely a painful loss for Genesis, a painful loss for myself as I am a part of the same org as Genesis, being the AGM. But they'll be looking for some revenge, and the Wisps will be looking to prove that it wasn't a fluke and that they are the better team. Definitely a hype matchup here for us.
Yeah, this one is definitely going to be hype, and as far as I can say, there is no better place to seek your revenge than in the opening round of playoffs. You love to see it. You love to be the starting of the playoffs for your respective leagues, and I'm sure these guys are happy and excited. Probably a bit nervous too, all at the same time, and I'm hoping for another banger of a series.
It should be, and no one wants to get first rounded, but everyone wants to get that first victory. Send the other team home. Real quick, C Money, I just want to ask, who do you got in this matchup?
Uh, you know, I gotta go with Genesis. I mean, I helped make the logo, so I gotta vote for him at this point. But no, Magic Pepperoni, he's gonna take my vote. I think he's got the skills to take his team at least to the next level. But it's gonna be a close one, I feel. Maybe a game 6 or 7 here.
I also think that Genesis will find the redemption arc. A little bit of bias there, perhaps, but I think they've got what it takes. Not going to be easy, though, as the Wisps are an extremely solid team. Not going to be easy to take them down. Starting off here, Rhodey taking a bit of a dribble. Dunked by Magic Pepperoni. Now Mikey pass to Magic. Going to get shut down as Magic will get eliminated entirely from the field on that rotation. Now the ball awkward and Genesis Saf. Bit of a team bump into the clear, but it will work. Enough for Genesis to get the ball clear for now. Forza standing strong on the goal line. That's a clutch save. Now an opportunity on the other end. Can't quite find the shot. Both teams feeling each other here in the first minute. Mikey has to make a good save. Does well to make it up to that one. But still, the Wisp putting together some dangerous plays. So far, nothing happening yet, C Money, but it looks like both teams just trying to find a little bit of play here.
Yeah, I mean, just the sheer level of this novice gameplay is actually quite bewildering to me today, as this is definitely some of the better gameplay I've seen yet in a hot minute. But yeah, they're just going a little back and forth, a little feeling out here and there, but nonetheless, they're doing some great passing plays and putting on some pretty solid shots. Maybe not a whole lot of them, but they're getting close, and Someone's gonna break the ice here soon. I can feel it.
And I'd have to agree, definitely some of the better gameplay that we've seen from Novice, perhaps even all season. We'll see which team can keep it up. As Magic looking for the read, fakes it out the defender, and Forza's got to be there for the shot, but nothing happening so far. More shot opportunities, but now the pressure is relieved from the Wisps. Mikey looking for a touch out, can't find the second one. Ball's going to be sent to the backboard, and that's a missed touch. War there for the shot, and they're going to strike first.
I mean, that's just a good cutoff by War there. Sends it up high, and when you're not already on the backboard, it's hard to always get up to it. And in that situation, Magic Pepperoni could not find the touch, going up for it, and left a wide open net there for War, and a nice finish after his initial cutoff.
And the backboard, one of the scariest places to see the ball get hit off of. As I say that, a ball off of the Wisp backboard. Won't quite be into the net, but more pressure. A miss from one defender, but the second will clear it up. Now War gets the past one. Looking for the dribble up the corner. Looking for the ceiling shot. Can't quite find a good enough first touch. Brody's patience on defense allows the Wisps to get out of a bit of an iffy situation, though. Huge clear from Pepperoni. More patience on the goal line. Now a miss from Genesis 2, actually. Forza left by himself. The ball's going to sneak past him. Charlie trying to get the pass middle. That one will be centered, and War with his second goal of the game already.
Yeah, I mean, War has just been in the right spot every time his team needs him to be. And in that situation there, he was just able to receive a nice little dish down. And being the first one up to it, you basically have free reign of where you want to put that ball, and he chose to put it in the back of the net.
And you can't allow a team like the Wisps to have that much space, as they're going to find another one, now 3-0 in the first game.
I mean, that was just a really fast one there, and when defense can't get set up, they tend to make a little bit of a mistake there, and that's going to be the first person besides War to get a goal here. And with Brody stepping up, and he's definitely been a big name for them, so.
It looks like Genesis going to strike back off of a kickoff. Mikey just gets the ball past War, explaining that one in chat. Apparently his controller disconnected, and that's why he couldn't go for kickoff, but still, Genesis is going to sneak one past. Now only 2 goals down, a slightly less intimidating lead to conquer.
Yeah, that's definitely a better situation, and they're going to make it even better with 3 kickoff goals in a row now, essentially, and 2 of them going for Genesis is going to bring it down into a 1-point game here.
And
Still
you know,
favoring the Wisps, but
I want to say that Magic Pepperoni, I do play some games with him here and there, and the one thing that he is most proud of is his kickoff, and I can understand why. After getting a perfect dead ball center, his teammate just had to hit the ball. Now Genesis, a much more doable game to come back from. Forza looking for the clear, can't find the touch. Now Rody trying to center the ball to his teammate. War's there for the shot. It's a nice high hit, but Magic follows, and he's still following, using all of his boost, but gets another touch. Will it be worth it? It's Forza centering one. Charlie swatting it away with ease. And now it's the Wisps looking a little bit awkward in their defense, having to deal with the Genesis pressure for one of the first times in this series. Still, they're dealing with it well. And Mikey backflips. Forza barely hits this ball off of his own backboard, not expecting the miss. Wisps with more opportunities. Well, Mikey's going to take control of this one. Can't get, actually does get it past War. Charlie's there to back him up. And a bump in net, but Rody does well to avoid it, and now gets it clear. Charlie actually takes the ball past his own teammate. Looking for a pass play there perhaps, but he won't find it as the net's open. Can't find the shot. Genesis narrowly escapes there.
yeah, that was just very unfortunate if you're the Wisps in that situation, as all he had to do was drive it in and opts for the flick, which, you know, comes with the nerves of playing at this, you know, end of the season playoffs, and didn't know that he had the wide open net and tried to flick it over essentially a ghost defender.
And now Genesis, only 1 second, no seconds left on the clock. They have to try and keep this one up. Forza gonna get a touch up, looking for one more. Can he find it? He does find it, gets it past the defender. 0 seconds, but Charlie clears it away. Magic trying to still keep it up. Brings it to the wall, but Rhodey's there to send it down. And a close call in the final seconds, but the Wisps will hold strong.
Yeah, and Charlie may not have been the top of the leaderboards there, but that play at the end really did save his team from going into overtime and potentially losing that. You know, they needed to make a touch, and pretty sure it was already past 2, and he was the last hope of defense on that play, as Genesis was trying to push hard for it, and Charlie was able to get it over them.
And that actually sums up the defense for the Wisps, at least from what I saw. A lot of times it was Charlie in net who had to make crucial touches, even though he was the bottom of the scoreboard. He did really well throughout pretty much the entire game to just get clears and keep the ball out of the net. And really, once again, the Wisps had a very nice performance here. Other than the 2 kickoff goals, they had most of the pressure here, C-Money, and you feel like it almost wasn't even as close of a game as the scoreboard suggests.
Yeah, the Wisps definitely came out firing and really wanted to take this first one, and they did just that by a small margin in the end due to some kickoff goals, but nonetheless, they had the pressure, they had the speed, they had the gameplay there for a majority of the game. And so now it's really going to be up to Genesis to make up that difference and, you know, hopefully take this game too. Or I guess Wisp could also not play at the same caliber, which would be just very unfortunate for them.
And we'll have to see how the cards will fall. Now we start off with another kickoff goal from Genesis. And that's pretty much all we've seen from them so far scoring. But I mean, if it gets the ball in the net, then it's a good play. And another great kickoff from Magic.
Yeah, that was another good kickoff from Magic, and Forza just full sends it there. If he had been any slower to that ball, that would have not resulted in a goal, and honestly, might be a viable stat for Genesis to try to get as many kickoff goals as they can to stay in the lead, as their defense is looking a little rough around the edges right now as they give up one here off the back wall.
And that's unfortunate. Magic Pepperoni can't quite make the touch on defense and just gets overpowered. Even got bumped almost into the net along with the ball. Not the kind of play that you want to see if you're a Genesis fan. Now an even scoreline. For the first time in a while, Forza almost makes it another lead for Genesis, but not quite there as Genesis shots just barely off target. Touch from Magic will create an awkward situation now. But he gets another one. That's actually a very nice play from Magic to get the ball cleared. Now can they keep it that way? Brody misses his air dribble. Gonna allow Forza the opportunity to clear this one back. Magic Pepperoni getting a hit to backboard. But Rhodey with a huge clear up to Charlie. Gets a touch. More pass plays coming out from Wisps. And honestly, C-Money, I've been very impressed by these pass plays. Even though they haven't all worked out, you don't always see these at the novice level from Wisps, especially.
Yeah, the Wisps have done a tremendous amount of pass play attempts, and not only have they like attempted it, but they've been pretty close. If not, I'm pretty sure 2 of them have already gone in. And so if they keep at it at this type of caliber, they're definitely going to be a very potent team. As in like novice and prospects, you generally have one guy on your team that's an outlier, but oh my goodness, what a read from Rhodey on that one, and a great pass as well.
And the Wisps just seem to have great visibility on each other. He spots his teammate and Rhodey all the way down the pitch. Magic, I don't even think he realized there was someone over there. And Rhodey just with a beautifully placed shot. Now another lead for the Wisps.
Yeah, that was just a great play all around and resulted in an amazing goal, and definitely going to be something we're looking to throw into the video right there, Merely.
Perhaps, yeah. As the Wisps already going for a few highlight plays. They do score one. That's a nice shot from Genesis, though. Off the backboard. Mikey there for the follow-up. Can't find the shot. Still, the ball is dangerous. But Genesis actually relieving the pressure themselves. They had the opportunity there to continue it, but Disaster strikes and Wisps are going to take a 3-1 lead.
Yeah, and that's definitely a killer thing, especially in the lower leagues of Nemesis, is boost management, as it looked like two Genesis players were both low, if not out of boost there, went back all the way to their own half and got punished for it.
And sometimes in those situations, you don't need boost. What you need is pressure. Magic Pepperoni barely missing his own shot. Looks like nerves might be playing a bit of a factor, as I've noticed even in this game alone, Genesis has had a few open net misses. That one wasn't entirely open, but it was at least a free shot. Genesis going to have to try to capitalize on a couple of these as Magic gets a nice touch center. A huge fake from Mikey. But patience once again on the goal line. And Wisps not getting scored on just yet. 2 minutes left now. They're looking as strong as they were in game one. A missed touch there from Mikey. I think it's better that he doesn't touch that ball. Actually, but War gonna get an unfortunate touch of his own. This ball is going to be centered. This is a shot opportunity for Genesis once again. It goes off the crossbar. Pepperoni there for the follow-up. Goes off the post, but there's defenders there regardless. Still so many opportunities for Genesis. They just cannot find the back of the net.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for Genesis and Genesis fans alike, as those are the shots that you want to see them hitting, and shots they want to at least get on net. You know, if they get saved, that's just a matter of the other team playing good, but these shots are just going a little wide or a little high, and they're going to need to clean that up either now or hopefully in the next game if they can't bring back this 2-goal deficit soon.
And especially in the Novice League, I mean, sometimes all you have to do is just put those shots on net. If you get enough, eventually, some of them will break through. As long as you can just keep your opponents from scoring more, you can emerge victorious. But now only a minute remaining, and Genesis still hasn't found much real offensive pressure, other than off of kickoffs. Now this could be another opportunity for the Wisps. They can't find the shot. And now Genesis, Mikey's up for the shot, but the pass was just a little bit too linear. Now a team bump from Genesis coming out. Forza has to make a touch there and gets it, but ball's still dangerous. Rhodey with a nice shot on target. Magic with not the best touch to the midfield. Leaves it for Mikey. But 20 seconds left. Genesis has to score right now if they want any chance of coming back in this game. Wisps not eager to let it happen. Rhodey's going to get another chance, and with another offensive play, an unfortunate touch from Magic, passes to Rhodey, but that was going in the net either way. And Genesis, this game will be beyond their grasp.
Yeah, that's definitely an unfortunate touch, but you can't really blame him. He's just trying to get any touch he can at this point. With 10 seconds left, down 2 goals, it's not the end of the world, but it's very tough, and they needed to get something soon and something fast. And usually, in Genesis' standpoint, Magic Pepperoni is the guy to rely on, from what I've heard.
And this game really just felt like a game of missed opportunities for Genesis. So many shots that they took that just went off the crossbar were just slightly inaccurate, but still the Wisps are playing phenomenally, finding each other on these pass plays and just finding Genesis net more accurately than the Wisps, or than Genesis.
Yeah, and honestly, the shot differential is not even that bad. It's literally, from what I can tell, if my math is correct, only 2-shot difference. And with 2-shot difference going down 3 goals, granted one off a missed touch team, but that's just something that can't happen at any level. And you know, as much as I hate to say it, game 2 is a must win for the behind team usually, but now they're really at a must win, because going down 3 in a best of 7 is almost unheard of to get the reverse sweep in.
Yeah, definitely requires insane mental fortitude to get a reverse sweep that big. I do want to say, though, the first series of the day, Vipers versus Faded, Faded went up 2-0, and Vipers ended up coming back, tying it up at 2-2, then losing another game, then bringing it back, and Vipers eventually went on to win that series. So, you know, down 2-0 isn't the end of the world. If Genesis can just take it one game at a time, try to get this one, get at least one and win under their belt, then they can definitely pull this one off.
Yeah, they definitely need this win here, as you know, that's the glory of the best of 7 is 2-0 is not as big as you think it is. It sucks, but it's still a very doable situation for you to get yourself out of.
And that's what we want to see from Genesis, as they finally put a shot on target there with some accuracy and power. The Wisp defense was too good, though. They're going to have to come with some even better shots, as War looking for another touch, looking for the team pinch and Novice. I think that's what we might have just witnessed. Wisps definitely feeling themselves right now, as Rhodey makes a save that was crucial. Had to get that touch or else it would have gone in his net. Overcommitting by Genesis, though, and Mikey's going to be back just in time, but has no boost, so he had to spend it all getting back to the net. Now Genesis looking for some counterplay. War shutting it down, though, gets the double touch. Mikey has to get the block, does well. Now sending this one out is Magic Pepperoni looking for a second touch. Gets the 50. That one's middle. Mikey there for the shot. Can he find it, though? It's off the crossbar. And Rhodey's going to get past one. Magic back for the save. Gets it past one once again. But Charlie looking for an insane redirect. Doesn't quite find it, but still scary stuff for Genesis. Although overall, oh my goodness, that one's barely going to pinch off of the crossbar. I was just going to say, overall, a much more defensive game than either of the first two.
Yeah, they're both teams looking solid in this one. It's definitely going back and forth, and actually Genesis has more than double what Wisps have in shots on this one. Now it's just about finding the back of the net in one of them, and with the amount of defense that Wisps are playing, they're just going to have to be patient and continue up with the pressure, and one of them will fall eventually.
Right now, it just feels like whichever team hits their shots is going to be the one to come out victorious. Now Magic looking for the dribble. Still has so much space. Oh my goodness. Can't get past the defense. Everns in an awkward spot, and an immediate counterattack is just going to fly into Genesis net.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, as it looked like Magic may be there for a split second. Didn't quite have the total control he wanted, but the more unfortunate part is the long clear, which can sometimes be hard to read, especially if you know it's on your own net. You feel the pressure of making that save or getting scored on.
And it looked like there Everns just didn't expect to clear that good, or default him, as it was a fantastic clear. But now Genesis down once again. Gonna have to fight back and try to regain. It will be, if they can, it would be their first time coming down from a deficit in the entire series. Still a lot of work to be done. Mikey gets an unfortunate touch. Everns awkward now. Has to try and take the dribble. Charlie's there to keep the pressure, and Magic looks for the clear, but blocked by a Wisps member once again. A big clear from Rhodey, as War looking for the redirect down to Charlie. The net's open, and Everns cannot get there. A huge play from the Wisps.
Yeah, I mean, just a good touch, a nice little drop down there, and with a passing play like that at this level, that's hard to defend for sure. I'd even struggle to see that one coming.
An incredible pass play and an even better finish on the shot. Everns, it looked like, wasn't a good position to save anything other than that top shelf banger of a shot. But now down 2-0. Genesis hasn't been able to come back from a lead this big yet in this series. Only over a minute remaining, and they're going to have to find 2 goals in quick succession. Wisps not anxious to let that happen. This time, Mikey's looking for a touch, can't quite find it. The ball is going to be sent back into Genesis half once again. Or can't find the read. A big demo from Magic Pepperoni should give them there some space. Everns there to get a touch. But once again, Rhodey with these clears. Wisps just with huge clears are keeping Genesis at bay. They can't find anything. War going for another play to Charlie, perhaps. Can't find the touch. If they can just keep this pressure, they will secure the victory in this game 3. Genesis have to find something fast. Mikey looking for the touch, gets a long hit. Rhodey's there, gets the touch, but this one's centered again for Genesis. Mikey can't find the touch. He was just barely out of boost. And now with 15 seconds left, that might have been Genesis' last opportunity. War with the pinch. Mikey now has to get this one clear, but the ball is going to stay in Genesis half. Zevern's no boost, can't find it, and that will be game for the Wisps, who will go up 3-0. Now Genesis staring at the face of getting swept.
Yeah, this is nothing except unfortunate for Genesis right now, as they are definitely a team that, as far as I could tell from the Novice League, deserve to be in playoffs, and now they're looking down the barrel of being swept in the opening round of the Novice playoffs. But needless to say, they still have a chance to at least pull something back and prove that they can, at least compete a little bit here, as a 4-0 is not the way you want to end your season.
And they're going to have to try get at least one game from here on out. A reverse sweep in a best of 7 is a lot more intimidating than even a reverse sweep in a best of 5. But the Wisps are the ones who reverse swept Genesis in the regular series on stream. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Genesis is just setting up for the reverse sweep to get some ultimate revenge on the Wisps. And, that would be quite ultimate.
I mean, if they're that big brain and that ready to do that, I would be absolutely bewildered. Maybe that's why they brought in Zerns there, was to get warmed up. He's their secret weapon, and now that he's played his one game and they lost on purpose, they're just going to go straight for the reverse sweep here.
And a very interesting roster change as Charlie Boyd joins Genesis. I don't think that one's going to stick. As we can see, actually, Zeverns is back in this one. Now it's Forza, Magic, and Zeverns. I believe this is the roster that started the season for Genesis. Let's see if they can keep their hopes in this season alive. So they're going to have to come out big here. Off the bat, a shot, not quite on target, but aimed eerily close to Genesis net. Charlie keeping the pressure, but Zeverns going to get this one clear. A huge 50 in the midfield. That double commit from Genesis, though, going to make it so they can't really make anything else happen on the play. Now Magic getting an awkward touch to the midfield. Wisps won't be able to capitalize, but still they have the pressure. Big miss from War, though. And now Genesis will. That's not the best touch, though. The ball is sent back to the Genesis net by one of Genesis players himself. And another awkward touch as War looking for the redirect. Can't find it, but Charlie can't find it either. Now the ball is cleared. This could be an opportunity for Genesis. Zeverns with low boost, though. Not going to be able to make anything happen. And so far, C-Money, it really looks like Genesis has just been stuck in their half. This is not what you want to see for their implications going forward in the series.
Yeah, they do look to be a little stuck, but on the bright side, it's not as bad as it seems. There's only one ball has been threatening enough for Rocket League to call it a shot. So they're doing well to keep it away from their net itself, but they're gonna need to do a little more than that if they're gonna look to take this game and start the reverse sweep threat.
They'll definitely have to, as Magic with a huge save. He's gonna have to get another touch here, as Rhodey was coming in hot for that one. Now Genesis escapes once again. They have to do more than escape to bring it back, though. A reverse sweep in a best of 7 requires outstanding play, not just on par play. That's another center over Genesis half. Zeverns up for this one. Only finds it as far as Rhodey. Now that one might be on target. It's not quite in. Forza with a huge read and a huge save off the goal line. Still dangerous, as Genesis defense is just all over the place. You can see them panicking. They need to try and take deep breaths, calm down here. They're not out of it yet. but they're not going to be better off with how much they're panicking right now.
The nerves are definitely a huge thing here, and it's pretty apparent as I've seen these guys play better, and I think they can do it. They still have a chance. They've held them to 0 thus far, and this might be the longest 0-0, and I might have jinxed it. Oh, that's thank you, Z Burns, for not making me jinx it there in that situation. But it's gonna be a hard fought battle for Genesis for sure, as they're down and under the gun right now.
And Wisps go. Ward goes for a fake there. Actually, a very smart play, but he can't get to the ball before Magic is back. Now a pass to the center. Severns finds the touch, but it's not the one he wanted. Still, opportunities. I think the net was actually open there. Hard to tell from that range, though. As Genesis, Zeverns is up once again off the backboard. Magic with the shot, and he can't find it. No way! And off the post once again. The hearts break for Genesis fans as they just cannot put anything in. Every shot is going off the post.
Yeah, they're definitely getting plagued, whether it be a little wide or an unfortunate bounce off the crossbar. They really just need to find one dead center here soon, otherwise the crossbar might end up eating that one out too if it's anywhere close.
Their chances are still alive as long as the game is still 0-0. But they're going to need to do more than just score even. So far, they've done well to keep the Wisps at bay in this game's game 4. They have to find something now. That's a huge demo from Zeverns. A center ball. Forza was there, but Charlie's going to make it back just in time. Wisps avoiding once again. And now it's Forza coming in for the shot, but Charlie's there, patient as always. Magic tries to take the shot, but it's off target. Can't find the touch. Zeverns gets it off backboard. But Rhodey with a nice read. Forza finding the net finally, but it's not going to be quite fast enough. And now Genesis, 4 seconds to score in regulation, but they're still in this one. As, oh no, this could be it. Roar's keeping it up, and he's going to flick it in. That's going to be the sweep for the Wisps on 0 seconds. Tragedy for Genesis.
I'm just gonna stay. I don't think I could dribble that well in diamonds. I mean, I'm pretty impressed he kept that up, and that's a huge play for the Wisps, as Genesis went the whole 5 minutes playing spectacular defense there, and even started to turn things around and get a good amount of pressure there for the last minute to minute 30, and we're starting to look threatening, and that could have been the key in turning around this series, but just ends an absolute travesty. Is that was an amazing catch there by War.
And very nice of him to recognize that all he had to do was keep the ball on top of his car. Unfortunately, the 0 second commit from Genesis won't pay off, and in fact, it backfires ultimately on them. Still, though, Genesis made it to playoffs, made a run, and weren't even playing that bad in this series. They just couldn't quite find their shots, and the Wisps were just too good with their passing plays and with their defense, honestly holding it down on all fronts. A great job from the Wisps, and still well played to Genesis as well.
Yeah, that was a spectacular showing from the Wisps, and they're really going to be looking to make a Cinderella story here out of this one. And you still got to give hats off to Genesis, like you were saying, is they by no means played a bad game, just plagued by unfortunate shot accuracy and a couple defensive mistakes, more than likely due to the nerves.
And if the Wisps can play as well as they were playing in this series and future playoff matches, then I'm definitely scared for whoever stands in their way in the future. A convincing performance in this one. And it's not over yet for the day, as we still have plenty more matchups to get to. After this one, we will be heading into the Challenger League, where the Drakes will be taking on Dissolved in another round 1 matchup. These matchups, just a reminder, are all do or die for both teams, as whoever loses will not be able to continue in the playoffs and will be eliminated. We've got some more banger matchups even after that coming your way, so definitely stay tuned thanks for all sticking around watching some great Rocket League, and thank you for casting with me, C Money. Always love casting with you, and
All right
we'll be
back
back.
at you.
And we'll be back in just a minute for the next matchup.